Ever since Donald Trump came down the escalator, I thought it would be impossible for anyone to be a bigger titty baby victim than that man is. But enter Elon Musk, and he's madder than a hornet in the fetal position, just beside himself, because he thinks Tim Walz is being so mean to him. Play the clip.
Does that help Tesla? I mean, you had Tim Walz, who's a huge jerk, running around on stage with the Tesla stock price where the stock price had gone in half, and he was overjoyed. What an evil thing to do! What a creep! What a jerk! Like who derives joy from that? And
I'll tell you who derives joy from that. Millions and millions of people that oppose fascism worldwide. You are universally disliked, except for a sect of the MAGA morons that think you're smart because you gamed the American capitalist system and got all these government subsidies and became a billionaire. Nobody likes your ass because you are a raging hypocrite of the highest order. Play the clip.
This is the chainsaw for bureaucracy. Chainsaw!
I mean, what are we doing here, America? I mean, that is so embarrassing. It is so cringe, his behavior. And then think about it. He is dismantling tens of thousands of government jobs and agencies that keep people safe, that keep people protected. You have the richest man in the world who is only rich because of taxpayers in the United States of America that were born here, paid into these systems earnestly. And he's born in South Africa, a huge racist, comes over here and wants to dismantle our government and has the balls to be mad at Tim Walz because he's happy that your piece of shit car stock is tanking. Tim Walz is not experiencing that joy in a vacuum. And the hypocrisy when he is dismantling a country that a lot of people had pride in, that a lot of people had hope in, that millions of people call home, that has kept the world order. He's dismantling it and ruining people's lives and destroying USAID, and millions of people are going to die because of that. And he's running around acting like an ass on ketamine with a chainsaw. But that's not all. There's more. Put up his tweets. Here he is. Go woke, go broke. Go woke, go broke. Yet another case. Go woke, go broke. Another tweet. Go woke, go broke. He is the biggest titty baby hypocrite on the planet. He can't ever do anything on his own. He can't fight fair. He can't tuck his tail between his legs and say, you know what, Tim Walz, I get it. I understand why you wouldn't like my stock because I'm dismantling the government right now. I'm firing a lot of people. He can't. He has to sit in the fetal position just like Trump. These guys are the biggest titty babies. They have this veneer of strength, and then you just barely scratch it, and behind it, they just shiver and just completely fall apart because these men are not the men that they project. These men are wannabes. They are posers. They are fakers. They have never earned anything on their own. They're cheaters. They're liars. They're con men. Both of them. And I believe they have secrets together that are mutually assured destruction. I think these two men are the most dangerous men that this world has seen since Hitler. All right, here's a tweet right here I thought made a lot of sense. Susie Rizzio says, the billionaires have decided that the people with nothing have too much. Such a simple tweet, and I think it's so true. Imagine these billionaires, Peter Thiel, J.D. Vance, Donald Trump, Elon Musk have decided that you, working class Americans, have too much. You can't have your Social Security that you paid into that you saw leave your check your entire life because Elon Musk wants it, Donald Trump wants it, and all of these rabid Republican capitalist worshiping men want to privatize it, just like they have health insurance. And we know how well that works out. Everybody gets their claims denied, and people file bankruptcy in this country because they're sick. And the people who perpetuate these policies are the Christians, the ones who are supposed to want to help the poor. And I just want to remind everybody that Jesus spoke out against the accumulation of wealth. So you have this dissonance in the United States of America, where we are one of the most Christian countries in the world, where we are not supposed, if you're a Christian, you're not supposed to support the accumulation of wealth. You're supposed to help the needy. You're supposed to help the poor. And on the other hand, everybody worships capitalism and gives billionaires a hall pass and falsely claims that, oh, Elon Musk is rich, he must be a genius, when in all actuality, he's not. He's a con man sucking off the government tit. These guys are doing what they claim working class Americans are doing. And I just want to point out that undocumented immigrants pay more into the tax system than these billionaires do. And then they don't receive the benefits later on in life. All right. I want to remind everybody, particularly Elon Musk, the reason that people are celebrating when your stock tanks is because of this. Put up the image. Here he is, the night that Trump was inaugurated, and he had this built up. He had been on his just horrible website, X, formerly Twitter, for months, building this up, building this up. Finally, he ascends to the power that he wants, and he does 2 back-to-back Sig Heils. That's why we are celebrating your failure, because fascism should fail. And the way you've gamed the system, and the way you suck off the American tit, and the way you marginalize Americans and exploit LGBTQ community and the migrant community for your benefit is disgusting. And we celebrate that type of failure in the same way that the Allies celebrated when they won World War II. All right, here's some real talk from a Yale professor about late stage capitalism. Listen.
I mean, this is like so fundamental to the American dream, the fact that you can roll up your sleeves, get to work hard, and rise through the ranks. What's wrong with that?
So that's much, much harder to do now than it used to be. And one of the reasons is that the middle has been stripped out of the labor market. Look, we've all heard statistics like that a CEO used to make about 20 times what a production worker makes. Now it's 300 times. But it's not just CEOs. A doctor used to make 4 times what a nurse makes. Now it's 8 times. A partner at a law firm used to make about 5 times what a legal secretary makes. Now it's 40 times. A bank president used to make about 50 times what a bank teller makes. Now it's 1,000 times. And what's happened is that the good middle-class, mid-skilled jobs that used to dominate work have been destroyed and replaced with a lot of gloomy jobs at the bottom and a few super elite glossy jobs at the top. And if we want to fix inequality, what we really have to do is fix that. We have to fix work.
This is the real diabolical brilliance of the MAGA movement, is they have the people who are being impacted most by their failed policies supporting said failed policies. It is the hoodwink and the con of the century. Middle-class voters, working-class voters believe that Donald Trump is advocating for them. They believe that because Elon Musk gamed the system and is a brilliant con man, that makes him a genius. And in fact, it only makes him an opportunist. But I also want to play this video from Kara Swisher. And I want to point out that women seem to have more cojones now than all of the men that I've seen combined. Listen to Kara Swisher here.
Astonishing reaction of, well, nothing happened. The operation was a success. I'm like, I don't care. We don't know. Who knows? I don't trust any of you people to tell the truth on anything. 2 things. Let me make 2 points. 1, you're a bunch of morons. Again, lying morons. 2, Goldberg was doing the right thing here, and he's a fucking badass. He did everything right ethically. And then when they challenged him about whether it was true, he didn't release the text initially, but then he's like, fuck you, I'm going to release the text. The third thing is, you know who's also a quiet hero here? Lorraine Powell Jobs, owner of The Atlantic, is letting this keep going, right? Because there's a lot of corporate people who are pulling in their horns for Trump, whether it's Disney paying that settlement with George Stephanopoulos or Paramount considering it. Like, all these people are doing this, and Lorraine Powell Jobs is running The Atlantic. Let me just tell you, I was just thinking, who's the Katharine Graham of this era? People like her, like that are not backing the fuck down. She has got a lot of bravery to put up with this stuff and to be able to take the pressure. When I think of Jeff Bezos, Mark Zuckerberg, and Musk sitting and sort of prostrating himself to Trump and what she just did, just a real differential.
All right. Lorraine Powell Jobs, billionaire, owns The Atlantic, doesn't have to grandstand, doesn't have to get up on stage, isn't asking for credit, but is silently and very efficiently and effectively putting up a resistance. She's supporting her journalist, which is supporting the Constitution, which is supporting the ideals of the United States of America. There is another billionaire who's doing the same thing, Christy Walton of Walmart fame. And she just bought a full page ad in the New York Times that went in over this weekend. This ad says, "We are a people of principle and honor. We honor our communities and stand by our allies. We defend against aggression by dictators. We uphold and defend the Constitution. We care for veterans and children. We respect our neighbors and trading partners. We support a healthy national and international economy, community, and environment. We are the world leader trusted to uphold the stability of rule of law." And I just want to point out that it's women right now. Neither of these are up on stage trying to grandstand, trying to get all of this attention. They are silently supporting and trying to uphold democracy and putting up a resistance, because everybody knows when they put their head on the pillow at night that Trump and Musk do not have the interests of humanity at heart. These guys are disruptors in the most diabolical way imaginable. They want to dismantle democracy. They want to control all forms of everything that Americans hold dear. Education, a free education, they are completely dismantling that. The arts, any form of aid, any form of Social Security, any form of middle class unions being able to organize to make sure they can get health insurance and be paid livable wages. They oppose all of this. And then they have millions of followers that willfully and gleefully vote against their own self-interest. And I'm just amazed that they see videos of either of these two men talking and think, yep, that's the guy for me. And I'll leave that up to the psychiatrist to really analyze how deeply dangerous this cult is and the dissonance in which its cult followers have to engage in. But this is a moment where we all need to stay engaged, and we need to fight for the First Amendment. We need to fight for free and fair elections. We need to bully the shit out of Elon Musk because it's working. The meltdown he had in the first clip that I showed you guys, it's working. Tim Walz got right under his skin. Tim Walz, working class man, school teacher, former football coach, decided to get into politics for all the right reasons. At the end of the day, Elon Musk knows he's nowhere near the man or the human that Tim Walz could ever be. All right, please subscribe to our channel. We're trying to get to 1 million subs, and we'll see you all later.